6 years. The election dates are Sunday the 15th and Sunday the 22nd of March. That means that on the 15th, all the candidates will be running, and on the 22nd, it'll be a runoff between the top two candidates. And the number of voters are 47 million. 47 million French people who are eligible to vote in those elections. So what do mayors do? Well, mayors, as I said, are in charge of villages, towns and cities around the country. They're there to enforce the law. They're there to oversee the municipal council. The municipal council votes on what the town should be doing, on building work, on improving schools and infrastructure, and then it's up to the mayor to make sure that those decisions are implicated. A mayor, for example, can marry people. That is in their legal ability. And a mayor is also there to be in charge of security and to apply the law. So it is a job that is very high on responsibility. And it's a job also that mayors can run for as many terms as they want. And I've been looking at the number of mayors in France that have been running for a long time. And did you know, Stuart, that the mayor who has held the job for the longest is called Yves Bacchus, and he's been mayor of a town called Priez in the Aisne of France since 1959. That's 61 years. He's seeking re-election. And the oldest mayor in France, believe it or not, is called Marcel Berthaume. He's 97, and he is running for a new term in office. He is in the Gironde region, which means that he will be 103 if he makes it to the end of the new term, if he's re-elected in March. So mayors are very important people. There are both women and men who are mayors in France, and they are highly respected as well. And that is why they're very often re-elected for many terms in a row.
So what's this election about, Philip? I mean, is it about local issues, or is it going to be seen as a bit of a look at La République en Marche and the presidency of Emmanuel Macron?
Well, as you mentioned in your introduction, Stuart, it doesn't look too good for the president's party, La République en Marche, LREM. But if you look at the national opinion polls, this is one done on the 28th of January by Adoxa, they are on 18% at the moment in France, with the Rassemblement National of Marine Le Pen, the RN, they're on 14%, the Republicans, the right-wing party, 13.5%, the Ecologists on 13.5%, the Socialist Party on 11%, and La France Insoumise, the France Unbowed left-wing party on 7%. So it looks not too bad in fact, national polls, but on a local level, as I said, mayors are very popular in their towns and villages, particularly in France, and can be re-elected many times in a row. And many of them are from the Socialist Party and the Republican Party, or independents. So it's difficult for La République en Marche to get a foothold in those areas because it's a new party that was created by Emmanuel Macron for his election back in 2017, and it does not have many municipal elected representatives around the country. So it's hard to know just how many of those who are presenting their case this time around are going to be elected, but it doesn't look like too many are going to be because mayors are not as running on the same ticket as, for example, MPs in France when they're trying to seek election, or a president.
And it's looking more complicated for La République en Marche here in Paris, isn't it? Because you've got the situation where there are two candidates from La République en Marche vying to take on, which has been pretty popular, socialist mayor for the last few years, Anne Hidalgo here.
Yeah, this is a worst-case scenario nightmare for Emmanuel Macron's party because you've got two candidates. Benjamin Griveaux, who is the officially inaugurated candidate, he's on 16%, and then a distant candidate, Cédric Villani, who last night was actually kicked out of the LREM party because he's refused to stand down in favour of Benjamin Griveaux. So he is on 10%. If you put those two figures together, you get 26%, but they are split. So that means there is no way they're going to be able to beat the mayor of Paris, who is Anne Hidalgo, who has been mayor since 2014, and she is riding high in the polls. Here she is. She's on 23%. And now even worse case scenario for the government is Rachida Dati from the right-wing Le Républicain Party, who is the mayor of Paris's 7th district, is running to take over as mayor of the whole of the French capital. She is on 20%, so she's also ahead of Benjamin Griveaux, the République en Marche candidate. So Emmanuel Macron has said in private that he doesn't believe any longer in the candidacy of Benjamin Griveaux, and he doesn't believe yet in the candidacy of Cédric Villani, who's now been kicked out of the party. So it looks like Anne Hidalgo, who is not that popular in Paris because she's clamped down on particularly on cars in Paris and wants to make the city more into a car-free zone. Looks like she's going to be re-elected, whereas Benjamin Griveaux is being more open-minded about that, but much more ecological in his campaign, saying, for example, that he wants to move the Gare de l'Est, one of the main railway stations, out of Paris completely into the suburbs. So that area where it is at the moment in the north of Paris will become a big green area. So looks like Anne Hidalgo for the moment is going to be re-elected unless there's some major change in the opinion polls.
Okay, we shall see what happens.
So voting in
end of
2
March,
Sundays in March.
Yeah, thank you very much.